I gotta think of something funny so that way I'm smiling.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay. I just remembered something funny. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll explain it after.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Nerdy Wordy, a show where we have a lot of discussions about a lot of nerdy things, such as which X team would you be on? X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, another one, other? We don't know. We'll find out, right?
Yeah,
Oh, we are your hosts. I am Robert,
I'm Billy.
and we have a lot to get to today. We have the Shang Chi trailer dropping in the past week. I had showed Billy this, and I thought it was really good. I don't know what
Yeah,
Billy's thoughts were. I think it's really good.
that was very cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little discussion about that. Of course, I have comic books that I have to discuss this week. Billy has, again, whatever he's gonna do. We never know every week.
You have to stay tuned and find out.
It's true. But let's get right into the first word. And Billy, you allowed me to have the first word, right?
Yeah, I want to hear your first word.
Well, you're actually
But
going to be kind of surprised about my first word.
before you say it, um, so this episode we're also going to be talking about the series finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Hmm,
And that's probably what your first word's going to be about.
hmm,
So I am extremely excited to see it because I really, really liked the series finale.
yeah.
So yeah, continue.
Well,
Sorry.
well, Billy, um, you're actually incredibly wrong. I'm actually not going to talk about that. I
Oh,
have a surprise that I have to announce onto the podcast right now. I
okay,
have not told Billy off camera. I have not said anything to him whatsoever. So it's a nice
okay,
little surprise for him. But we did talk a little bit about this off camera many, many weeks ago. Um, I am going to be starting a mini series on this channel. It is going to be called Showing Off My Collection. I'm going to be talking every week about a little aspect of my collection. I'm going to start off with the comic book collection, so that way everybody gets kind of familiar with the gravity of like my collective abilities and my expertise on the knowledge of everything. I'm not going to reveal what I'm going to start off with because this week I had to go and get a comic book that actually could be able to get the series going. So this first episode was crucial in getting this comic book today, basically.
okay.
I'm not going to reveal what it is right now. And unfortunately, I can't show it to you in a couple of weeks because everything that I'm showing you now was a couple of weeks ago that I bought because I usually have like an isolation period because of COVID. Like I'm still kind of anal about that, keeping them isolated for 2 weeks. That way I don't get anything, even though I know it's definitely not a possibility of getting infected that way. It's kind of like my routine kind of thing. It also kind of helps me regulate for the podcast to see which ones I want to pick out and show Billy every week.
Mhm.
Um, so I won't be able to unfortunately show you it in a couple weeks time because you would have already have seen it probably when you watched the video. Because I'm doing this also without Billy. Unfortunately, Billy's not going to be a part of the mini series that I'm doing.
Yeah,
So he gets to watch himself, but
I'm
it's going
so
to be
looking forward to this.
I know,
There's
and I
so
thought
much
this would
stuff.
be this would be a really good surprise for you for this episode that we're
Oh yeah,
doing.
I wasn't expecting you to announce it because we talked.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked about each other doing our own mini series, just like standalone. But I
Yeah.
was expecting this to be like a couple weeks in the future or something. So I'm really excited to actually
Mhm.
see what happens.
Yep, I'm gonna probably try and film it in the next couple of days when I have the chance. It's gonna be relatively short because the reason why I'm doing this series now with this theme that I'm gonna do, there's a particular title slash theme that I'm gonna be doing for this week, was because it's so short. The key issues are so few and far between that like it's going to be a pretty short video to be like an introductory video because if I start doing like the Spider-Man collection, that's going to be like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, because there's so much that I have to go through because it's just one short box of stuff. This way, with the stuff that I'm going to start off with, it's going to be like probably maybe less than 10 books just to start off.
Okay. I have a quick question
Yeah.
about it. So is it going to be like a few weeks, or is it just going to be like 1 week?
So it's not going to be the format that I do with you, where I show off the new stuff that I show every week.
Mhm.
This is going to be probably every single week. I'm going to pick out a thing. So, like, I'm going to pick out a title, like Detective Comics. I'm going to pick out a character,
Okay.
like Thor. And I'm going to just talk about all the key issues that I have in my collection
Okay.
for that particular character or title or something like that.
Okay. I like it.
Mhm.
You have to
So,
do some of your collectibles though. You can't just do the comic books
well, yeah, I'm going to
because I
start
want to
off
see
with
both. But
I'm going to start off with the comic books
mhm.
because that's the stuff that I'm primarily engaged in. You know, that's
Yeah.
my main collectible thing. But yeah, I do have a lot of collectibles also in my room, as you can probably tell behind me. That's just a little taste of stuff that I have. That's just like the cheap stuff. Although this one right here is the original Green Goblin from 2002.
Nice.
So just a little taste, a little nugget of physical other things other than comic books that I have.
I like it.
So I'm proud to announce that this is going to be happening for me.
I can't wait to see it. What are you gonna call it? Wait, you already said. Was that your name for it, or?
It's going to be something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Showing off my collectibles,
Like
collectible things, something about that. I'll think of a cool name by the time the video comes out.
Mr. Doctor Strange stuff.
People don't see my name on here.
No, I know. But yeah, we both had code names. So let me see. It's on this side. So on Zoom, we both have our names right here. And we're like, well, if people see our names, we want to come up with cool, clever, like nicknames for each other. So
Mhm.
Rob came up with his own that was fantastic. It was Mr. Doctor, like a reference from Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And no one gets to enjoy it until now.
Nope. I will defer to you for your take on the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is actually what we're going to talk about in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess my first word on it, and I'm gonna say this so many times. I love Sam's new Captain America suit so much. That's like
Mhm.
it's oh my god. I love the suit. I don't even know how to say. It's like one of the greatest superhero suits I've ever seen because
Mhm.
it looks so similar to the actual like comic book version that you
Yep.
sent me last week.
Mhm.
But it just oh my god, it looks so cool. Like when he showed up in it, I was just like, I want that
Wow.
suit. Like it's so cool. That's my first word.
I like it. I like it.
Oh my god. But I do want to get your first opinion on the movie.
The TV
On
show.
the movie. Oh my god. On the TV show. It was so good it was like a movie.
A 50-minute. Do you notice that like this episode was shorter than the last episode we had?
Yeah, the last one I think was like a minute and 3. A minute and 3. An hour and 3 minutes. Oh my god.
Maybe I should start talking.
Okay, let me just let everyone know that it's like 11:10 and my mind starts to shut down around 10:30. So, oh, it's 11:30, 11:10 at night. I don't
Yes.
clarify that.
Not in the morning. We're not doing
Yeah.
this in the morning.
No. Oh my god.
Which would make sense, but
Yeah, I would slap myself awake, but last time I slapped myself, we saw what happened. So
yes.
I burped into the microphone. Go back and check out episode 2, I think it was.
Yeah, probably. Or three. Two or
2
three.
2 or 3.
One of those.
So bad.
So let's get into the deep dive of this last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm going to say that there's not a lot really to talk about because there's a lot of action going on for most of the show, and there's a few deep points that I think we should definitely touch on.
Yeah.
So since I had allotted my time of the first word for the announcement, I'm going to allot my time in the deep dive to talk about the episode as a whole. I did like this episode. I definitely do agree with you that the Falcon suit is amazing. It looks really good in real life. Like looking at it in comic books compared to real life, there's a huge difference between the two. And I absolutely enjoyed it. And I did love that like the whole place was glowing red and it looks so nice with the red color all around him.
It's so nice.
It was so good. And then him using both the wings and the shield at the same time,
Oh my god, so
even better.
nice. My god, I love also really
Mhm.
quick. I love that the wings are like so small. Like the wings on like the old one were like it was like a huge jetpack thing, but
Mhm.
now it's like so small they can
Right.
go right over it. It's oh my god, it's so good.
And they're
It's
vibranium too, so that means he can use a lot
like
more
it's
with those.
like
I
a
mean,
double shield.
like remember he used them to like position himself. Like he was fighting Carly towards the end of the episode,
Mhm,
and he literally like put the wings in the ground in order to stabilize himself, so that way he couldn't move.
mhm.
Which is like you couldn't do those with the other wings because they wouldn't be able to be as strong, you know?
Yeah, and when the helicopter scene, when the helicopter was like falling, and ooh. Oh geez, in the helicopter scene when the helicopter was falling, and he like made like a little um
The
cocoon for
shield
himself.
around him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely like that scene too. The whole helicopter sequence was very interesting as well. Him
Mhm.
up in the air trying to get the helicopter to save all the people in there and make sure everything was okay. I love that.
So
Um,
good.
I want to talk about John Walker. I had thought he was going to be the U.S. agents working for Val in this episode
Mhm,
during this fight sequence with Carly and Bucky and Falcon.
mhm.
Now as Captain America. Um, but he wasn't. He was just regular John Walker being Captain America. He just has this weird shield, which I was right about the fact that his shield was so pathetic because you could see all the dents and everything.
Mhm.
Him using it, it's not the same thing as the vibranium shield. It's the fake kind of shield. It's like having my shield that I have and using that in battle. Like it's gonna get destroyed pretty quickly, you know?
Yeah, very quick.
So I do have a question for you, Billy, is that how do you feel about John Walker now that he has kind of redeemed himself during this fight sequence? He chose not to kill Carly. He chose to do the right thing and be the Captain America he should have been.
Mhm. I mean, I going into this one, I had a feeling that he was still gonna try and do the right thing, and I'm glad ultimately he kind of did.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily think that means it's everything's forgiven, but I think it's definitely
Hmm.
the right. He's doing the right thing moving forward in a way, and you can also tell
Yeah.
how hard it was to like actually like pull himself away and actually go and help the people.
Hmm.
Um, but in the end, he made the right decision there to help them, and I think that's a good thing because in the end, we do
Yeah.
learn that he does want to be a good person. He just has a hard time with it. It's kind of like the the appeal of Loki, I think,
Hmm.
in a way, where Loki is like the bad guy, but like he's always so close to being the good guy, and everyone believes that he can be. Like he's like the anti-hero kind of. Like he's the bad
Hmm.
guy, but we all see like good in him, and you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that, except people don't love him as much.
Hmm. So, what do you think about him towards the end where he becomes the US agent and he has that full black suit with the red stripes on there that kind of almost makes it look like the American flag, but it's not really?
Yeah,
Um, what do
it's
you
like the
think
suit
he's
you.
going to become? Because I think like when I saw him, I had predicted last week that he was going to die because
Yeah,
I thought his hubris
yeah,
was going to get in the way of him because that's the character progression that I thought he was going to be in. But
mm,
it turns out he became the good person that he should have been. But now he's the U.S. agent, which is a completely different character in this sense because now he's not controlled by the government or by his own thoughts. He's now being controlled by Val and whatever her position is, whatever she
yeah.
wants. Um, what do you think about this?
I definitely want to get your opinion on it, but mine really quick is we see how he just has a hard time controlling himself to do the right thing, which
Mm,
he ultimately does, but he makes a lot of mistakes along the way, and it's not necessarily like once you make a mistake you can't redeem yourself. It's just once you make one, you kind of have to do more than just one thing to redeem it. It's harder
mm,
once you make that first mistake, but everyone deserves a second chance. Don't get me wrong. He deserves a second chance. And when he did get it, he made up for it and he saved a bunch of people. Or he
mm,
tried to save a bunch of people. Oh, I would say he saved a bunch of people because he delayed it from falling enough where Sam
right.
could come in and save him.
Hmm.
And but we just see how fragile he kind of is. And I think Val, right? I keep wanting to call her Elaine. Um has such a presence
Hmm.
that I feel like she can manipulate very easily
Hmm.
and manipulate him specifically very easily into doing things that shouldn't necessarily be done.
Hmm.
Because that's I just see him thinking that he's gonna be doing the right thing, and she's just manipulating him because she just seems really good at it. I mean, in
Hmm.
her first appearance, she just dominated everything that was happening, right? So,
Yeah.
that's what I see. What about you? Because I'm interested to see what you say with your comic book expertise.
So I think of the U.S. agents because there's a tier of like there's superhero, there's like the good guys,
Mhm.
like Captain America. There's the anti-heroes like Batman, the Punisher, Wolverine. Those kind of anti-heroes that like have heroics, but they also work in different ways above the law, you know? I think of US Agent as kind of a combination of like Punisher and Captain America together in that
Okay.
way. Um, but I don't know if he's going to be an anti-hero, if he's going to be a weapon, a use of villainy in a way, because Val does not scream, I'm doing good for the rest of humanity. She does not really scream that with her presence. She kind of screams, I have an ulterior motive that
A little
is
bit.
not entirely benevolent for everybody in the United States or in the world. I have my own agenda that I want to fulfill. And I have John Walker as my literal agent of
Yeah.
doing that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that for him, he feels like he's going to be doing the right thing. I mean, he feels like this is right. This is like a different feel for him. But I feel like he's going to, again, get manipulated and brainwashed into this ideology of like, I'm going to be doing good, but is it good for everybody? Or am I just following orders from somebody who thinks they're going to be doing the right thing for themselves?
Yeah.
Um, because obviously like he is a fragile mind at this point. We have seen that he has had a mental like regression throughout these episodes. Yes, he has redeemed himself in the end for saving these people and helping Bucky and Captain America stop the flag smashers, but he is more manipulative now than he was in the beginning. He's more willing to do other things to keep himself feeling like he is Captain America in some sort of way, you know? Because even Val has said, like, you're no longer Captain America. You're now the US agent. He is now defined as something else. And he is now defined in being aligned with something else other than what Captain America stood for. Um, I was surprised to see that he's going to be back, considering even though we didn't know it at the time, but there's so much backlash with like fans not liking him because he's
Yeah.
just not a likable character. And now we're gonna have to see him again probably sometime soon in the future. We don't know. We know
Yeah.
Val is gonna come back because Val is going to be in Black Widow. This has
Mhm.
been confirmed, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I've just been hearing from other people, but I believe that it is confirmed that she's going to be in the Black Widow movie. So we're going to see a little more of Val, probably in an end credit scene or something like that, in that movie.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how that is going to take place in the future of the MCU. Obviously, it's going to be more grounded to Earth, where we're kind of more going into new characters and new places, new times, especially as well,
Mhm,
to see how this is going to work out. You know?
mhm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like the character at all, but that's a tribute to how great the actor is, right? The actor's
Yes.
so good that people hate him. Like, he was
Hmm.
designed to be hated, and he was doing such a good job that they hate him so much, right?
Right.
I still don't hate the character. I'm not necessarily a fan of the
Yeah.
character, but I don't hate him because I still believe he wants to be good. So
Yes.
I still think that's like an honorable thing. Okay, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
Before we talk about more of the episode, what did you think about Captain America? What did you think about Captain America's speech at the end of it?
Absolutely loved it. I think
Yeah,
it hit a lot of tones and a lot of themes that did not immediately direct not only towards the senators and the members of the GRC doing the vote, but it attributed a lot of things like racism and social and economic inequalities in the United States and around the world.
yeah,
So it was not just focused on that one topic of we're having the vote for this. It stretched out to a lot of topics that I think anybody could be like, yeah, that makes sense to this and this and this. Um, and he even had explicitly said, like, I'm a black man in Captain America's uniform, wearing the stars and stripes, and he's talking about like, how is it that you don't understand the struggle that we've had to deal with, and he's hit on such amazing themes that needed to be discussed not only in the show but outside the show as well. And I think
yeah,
this speech was more powerful in his establishment of Captain America than the suit and the wings and the shield. Like Steve Rogers had an identity that he had like had this clear cut vision. He's had speeches before, you know, that was his identity. This is a new Captain America that has a new fight that he has to fight on, and he has new things that he wants to take care of and wants to, be Captain America for these causes. Um,
yeah,
and I think that was so resonant in this speech that it honed in, of course, more than him appearing as Captain America. Because Captain America's suit and the wings and the shield were really cool. But I thought this was an even better way of like, this is my Captain America. I clapped more and I was like, yes, more to this scene than to him just being Captain America and having the suit and everything. This one was one that was like, I believe in Captain America at this point.
yeah. Me too. I think that and the scene when Sam first pops up and he like rolls and he's like in like the Captain America
Mhm.
attire. That and this speech scene are my favorite ones throughout the whole series.
Yep.
I think the speech, I think the speech beats it out a little bit, just because it just hits on so many messages,
Mhm.
and I think um, from like a society perspective, it hits really well. But from an individual perspective, I think it also hits. Not necessarily
Yes.
in the same way, because he says it blah 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 blah. Blah. He says in it something along the lines of how he doesn't have superpowers. All he has is. Do you remember exactly what he says? He's like, I
No,
don't
I
have any.
don't.
From what I remember, it's like I don't have any. I should have looked it up. I
Mhm.
don't have any superpowers. All I have is like a cause to fight for, or something
Yeah.
he believes in, something like that.
Mhm.
And I think that is something that every individual watching this could take away from it.
Yep.
Where a lot of the stuff that he mentions is like a lot of the things that we need for society to change. And yes, the individuals in the society have to change in order for the whole society to change.
Mhm.
But that one line specifically that I can think of right now hits to the fact that every individual can make a difference in it. Everyone watching this, if you have a cause that's if you have a cause that's worth fighting for, then fight for it. Like
Right.
I don't think anyone I don't think most people would say that they're that they have prejudice towards people, right? I don't, for the most part, I don't think anyone would say that, but yet we keep seeing it coming up in the news, right?
Hmm.
And I think the reason I was thinking about this actually earlier today, I wasn't sure if I was going to say it, but I'll say it. Maybe we can cut it out. But people who are like, well, I don't have any prejudice, so like I feel like that's kind of like the lazy man's way of saying like, well, I don't have it, so it's not a problem for me, so
Right.
I'm not going to do anything about it.
Hmm.
Whereas what it should be is like, well, I'm not prejudiced, so let me actively show that I'm not by either partaking in protests or just going out of your way to help people.
Hmm.
And I think that's a good line for that, where no one watching it has superpowers. You just have a just cause.
Hmm. Yep, I totally agree. I thought of that exact same thing. Like
Oh, really?
Sam saying, even though I don't have the super serum, I still have something that I'm wanting to fight for. And every person doesn't have the super soldier serum. So that means you can still fight for it too.
Exactly. It was a perfect speech, and whoever
Hmm.
wrote it did fantastic, or whoever the writers
Give
were.
them the Emmy right now.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job with it, and the actor, Anthony Mackie, right, um, did a fantastic job delivering it, because it can be
Hmm.
great writing, but if you don't deliver it well, then it's not going to stick. But he did an
Right.
excellent job with it.
Yep. Totally agree. So this brings into one of the final scenes of the episode, and that is Sam going up to see Isaiah Bradley. Um, and this is obviously a much happier scene than the ones that we've interacted with before, because the other ones were more somber, more emotional, more saddening. This one was like happy and you know comforting, and it had
Yeah,
a better tone to it, because I think Isaiah Bradley is like, okay, now I can see where people can be accepting of this, and I can see where this is going to be working well for everybody.
yeah,
um and Sam's like, yeah, I'm ready to pick up this mantle and be ready to face whatever challenges I have to go through, no matter what.
mm.
And I just love this scene where they go to the Captain America Museum, which first of all, I thought that what was going to happen was Isaiah Bradley was going to meet the old Captain America. I thought
I thought so too.
Chris Evans was going to come and meet him and be like, hey, like they're going to have like a little talk or something about that.
I thought so
But it
too.
was something even better than I thought. I don't know if it's better. It's something just as good
Mhm.
as what I thought, which they had a statue of him, and they had a plaque saying of all the sacrifices that he had made and all the trauma that he had to go through. He was literally like the first black. He was the first Captain America since Steve Rogers. Basically, he was the one who had fought so much for this country and did so much, um, and did not deserve to be unrecognized until now. Like, he needed to be recognized even beforehand, and it's long overdue, but he finally gets what he deserves, which is recognition and a statue, basically, for his fight, you know? And him just hugging Sam really made it just as emotional as any of the other scenes that we've had, And I probably think that a lot of people cried during this scene. It was very nice.
And my eyes are actually starting to get a little watery right now. When I saw it, like that is one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna wipe my eyes because then people will see that my eyes are tearing up. But it was just it was so beautiful. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to say
Yeah.
about it. It was
Other
just
than it's just perfect.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
perfect ending to the series, I think.
the only thing that would have made it better is if Steve Rogers showed up and gave him a
Yeah.
handshake or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Or
because
if
I
it was
wanted to see a
like,
cameo of him, but the scene was perfect. I'm just joking.
yeah, it was exactly what I think everybody needed. Um, and we also saw that Bucky went up to Ojima, I think it is.
I think
I
so.
forget his name.
Something like
I'm
that.
sorry, I don't forget his name. But we know the old dude that was in like episode 1 or 2.
Episode
Um,
1, right?
I forget. I'm
I think
sorry.
it, I think it was episode 1 because I think that set up the whole backstory, right?
I think it was, yeah, it was episode 1. He goes up to him and he's like, "I have something to tell you," and he actually says what he needed to do, which was, "I was the one who killed your son, and it was because I was the Winter Soldier. It was not under my control."
Hmm.
Um, and that gives him closure. Finally, I think it gives both of them closure. It gives him closure for being able to say it, and it gives the man closure that he knows what happened to his son, and it wasn't technically Bucky's fault. It was under the um, brainwashing of Hydra that made him do that. So I think there's at least some closure there, and I think he did. As I said in like when we talked about the first episode, I didn't know if he did the morally right thing at the time, and I think he did make the morally right thing at the time because I think he wasn't ready to do it himself at that time. But going through this with Sam and going through this whole arc of this story kind of made him go like, I can be able to now do this. I can be able to face my demons and be able to own up to it and be able to say to him like, hey, this is what happened and I'm sorry and I hope that you can get some closure out of it. So
Yeah, that was also a very touching scene. I agree,
mhm,
and it was a great culmination of his story as well,
yeah.
or his character arc, I guess is the way to say it.
Hmm.
Um, I want to know a little selfishly. I want to know a little more of the explanation that he eventually gives to him. Like, was everything we saw it, and then he leaves? Like, how much
Hmm.
detail did he actually give him? And did he get kicked out? Did the guy not understand? Like, he would have gonna be devastated. But like, because at the end we see Bucky looking in through the window, and then just kind of walking away.
Hmm.
Like, are they still get along? I guess in a way.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I think like the lady who owns the bar looked at Bucky and she was like, he has closure now. He's gonna be okay. And I think that's what she kind of presented to Bucky as he looked through the window. He was like, I hope he's okay. And she was like, he's gonna be okay. Because he now knows he's not gonna be tormented for the rest of his life about what happened. He's gonna be okay.
During that scene, I was like, she just looked at him. I know she's
Mhm.
giving him like confirmation, but because she left, I thought she was gonna come out and talk to him.
Mhm.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You are gonna be with Sam's sister, not her. No flirting for you.
No.
But she didn't
and
come
that's
out, and I
where
was like,
the
okay.
and that's where the episode ends. We get to have this very nice scene in Louisiana, and the entire community is there with Sam and Bucky, and we have this nice little montage.
Yeah.
But of course, we cannot leave this episode without having a very major end credit scene or mid credit scene, which I think you'll have a very interesting take on.
This is the thing that you mentioned before, where last week in your prediction, and this was the one thing that I was like upset that you were right about. Not
Oh yeah,
because I don't want you to be right, but because I
no,
didn't want it to be true. I like
yeah,
her character so much because
right.
just the way she got along with like Steve and how they almost had a thing, but like
Hmm.
she's actually Peggy's uh, niece, right?
Yes.
Niece.
Hmm.
So technically related to Steve in a way,
Yeah.
um, which is weird. But I liked her character
Yeah.
because like she was just such a good character throughout the whole up until now. Throughout the whole thing, she
Mhm.
broke the law for them. She stood up for Captain America and Captain America 2 when they were ordered to hunt him. Like she was just like such a good character that I was like kind of like not like Black Widow, but like I developed the same like because Black Widow didn't make it. I was like she's gonna be the new Black Widow in a way because like they're kind of similar.
Mhm.
No. Why? Why did you
Why
choose
is
to
she the
choose?
power broker?
Why did you choose to break the law? Why?
Well, I
You're
definitely think that
pardoned.
main
Give it up.
I think a main theme in this series has been identity. You know, who do you identify as? You know, Sam has been struggling with the idea of like, is he going to be identified as Falcon, as Captain America, as Sam, as a black man? You know, Bucky's identity as being the Winter Soldier is trying to be dwindling since he's trying to remedy and make amends for all these things. John Walker is trying to figure out his identity as being Captain America, and now we're seeing that uh, Sharon Carter is trying to remedy her situation. Like, who is she going to be? Is she going to be the agent that she used to be for Shield, or some other agency for that matter? Or is she going to still be the power broker and still yield this power that she kind of doesn't want to let go? And she decided to choose the latter. Is that the right choice? Probably not. Is she going to be malevolent in her position? Also, we don't know. But it's not the same Sharon Carter that had left since Captain America Civil War. This is a new Sharon Carter that we're dealing with now, and her identity has become kind of the power broker.
It was a great synopsis of the whole series. I said I have to say that with the identity
Mm,
part.
yes.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I was very disappointed at that. I mean, it's great cinematically, or
Hmm.
cinematically the word for a TV series. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the cinematic universe, so I would agree.
okay, it's a good cinematic move and like a good storyline move, and it is a good character arc. But I was still kind of, just as a fan, kind of disappointed a little bit.
Yeah, you're disappointed that she didn't go back to her old
Wait,
ways of just being a good person. Now she's kind of has this power hungry ideology of like, I want to still be the power broker and, you know, facilitate these shady underground kind of deals with people about like state secrets and like weapons and stuff, you know.
I'm surprised she didn't take the super soldier serum though. She's the one who gave it to
See,
them.
that seems out of character to me.
Well, I mean, this also seemed out of character though.
It seemed more like in character because she's kind of been transformed in these years since she's been on the run. She's kind of transformed from being, I mean, you could kind of see when she is like rebelled against Shield, rebelled against the government to help Steve. It was only inevitable that she was going to rebel against the government in her own form as her own person, as
That's
being the
true.
power broker. So you can kind of see an inner character kind of start off in Captain America 2, then continuing in Captain America 3, and now it's kind of full fledged now in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I see. That might, yeah.
So that's the entire episode. All neat, put it away. I don't think there was much of anything else that we needed to discuss or talk about. There was nothing really important that I think we missed. I don't
I got
think,
one
unless
more
you can
thing.
think of something. Yeah.
I got it's. I want to say it's a minor thing. It's not really part of the episode. It's at the
Mm.
end when they uh say like finito the end, but they put Captain and the Winter Soldier. They changed the series
Yes.
name. The one
Mhm.
thing I think that I would have liked to see is if it said Captain America and Bucky.
Yeah.
I think that would have been nice
Hmm.
because like the whole thing is like Bucky's trying to not be that anymore, and then Sam's trying to be Captain America, and like
Hmm.
instead of changing Falcon to Captain America, that's like a good culmination for his story arc. And I think it would
Yeah.
have been nice if they switched it to Bucky, so it was Captain America and Bucky, saying like
Hmm.
he's moved on. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I think Sam's change from being Falcon to Captain America was a complete change for his character, whereas Bucky was trying to just fizzle out and transition into being Bucky again.
it's
So
true.
like he's
But I mean, he
so
did
like
cross off the notebook. Like he finished the list and he gave the notebook back to the doctor and said like he's done. He did it,
mhm,
which I thought was like his closure. And he's now just Bucky.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. There are two different identity changes that happen for each of those characters.
Yeah.
So that's how I would identify it. I would identify one as being a complete change and one being a slow burning change. That's how I would
Fair.
identify, and that's why I think they made that executive choice.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just nitpicking right now, but
Yeah, makes sense. But you did enjoy that Captain America was put in there though, because now he is identified as Captain America. He's no longer Falcon at this point.
no. And what a great like I wanted to make a post or something like on like our Instagram account that all of you should go follow.
Hmm.
Um and and like say what's today's date?
The
Okay,
'24th.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Say um April 23rd should be like Captain America Day or something like that. There's like superhero days, there's a day for everything, but there's no Captain America Day. There's a superhero day. There's no Captain America Day. And I thought like
Hmm.
April 23rd would be a good Captain America Day. Yeah.
That's up for the committee to decide.
Yeah. If you made it this far into the video and you like that idea, let's do it. For the
Sign a
community.
petition.
Yeah.
Change.org it.
Yeah. I mean, the only other option is, there's a few options. There's the first time Captain America was in the comics, the first time the Sam Captain America was in the comics, the first time Captain America, the first Avenger came out, and also this episode. So there's a few different options that we could
Yeah.
go, or it could be none of them as well.
It could
Make
just
it,
be none of them, and just in general, Captain America Day.
yeah. What would be a good Captain America Day? July 4th? No, I'm just
Probably.
kidding. Well, I mean, it
Memorial
makes
Day.
sense, but like Memorial Day. Oh, that's a good
Veterans Day.
one. No, veteran deserve that day. They shouldn't have to share
Okay. Yes.
it. I don't know, but anywho, the trailer. Their
Yes.
next line of business, right?
Yep. The Shang Chi trailer.
Yeah,
Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings came out with a trailer and a poster earlier this week.
yeah.
Um,
It looks really interesting. It looks different. It doesn't look like it has the feel of a Marvel movie. But I
no,
wouldn't say these last two series had a feel of a Marvel movie either.
no. But I definitely feel like this is going to be a different change of pace, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a different change of pace. It's not the traditional superheroes that you're accustomed to. It's the space battles and space saga with different characters put in. Kind of the same way with this one, where we have Shang-Chi, where we have now the actual Mandarin, we have, all these new characters that are getting put in, that we're getting introduced to.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. It looks really good from what the footage has looked like.
Mhm.
Um, I'm really excited to see what it looks like. It's coming out 2 days before my birthday, which is also great.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
it's coming
exciting.
out September 3rd. So
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, it's all the way in September. Come on.
you gotta be aware of this.
Yeah. Uh, it does look good though. I mean, it looks like everyone likes a good like. It looks like a Bruce Lee movie, kind of
Hmm.
in a way, like a Bruce Lee meets superhero.
Yes.
Looks
Hmm.
cool.
Is that it?
That's it. That's all I got. I don't
Yeah,
really know
I mean,
anything about his character.
not a lot of people do know, because like Shang-Chi is like one of these like B-list, almost C-list characters that like not a lot of people buy that book, you
Mhm,
know? I know it's obviously popular now because, the movie's gonna be coming out, but
mhm.
again, it's like kind of weird to see like, people are gonna gain popularity for it. There's omnibuses about it that like go untouched. I've seen them in stores before that like they never get touched because it's Shang-Chi. Nobody really wants to
That was
read
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. They want to read, Spider-Man or Venom or, Captain America or the Avengers or the X-Men or something. They don't want to read Shang-Chi. So
Something that's
it's gonna be
mainstream.
interesting to make it kind of mainstream in the movie.
Mhm. the storyline seems really cool. Like,
Hmm.
looks like he comes from like not rich, but like leaders of wherever he's from, and then
Well, he's like part of the Ten Rings, right?
I'm not sure what that is.
Well, it's the secret group that he is a part of,
Okay,
basically, that trains him into being a kung fu master. But
okay,
then he decides to leave and become a normal person in the United States for a few years.
hmm
But now they're trying to get him back into being the master that he was and being part of the Ten Rings again. And this conflict between the world that he has grown up in and the one that he is trying to eliminate, you know,
hmm
that kind of thing.
seems cool. Kind of reminds me of I'm not sure if there's an Iron Fist TV show. I think there was,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But I haven't seen it. The only Iron Fist I've seen is in the old Disney TV show Ultimate Spider-Man,
Hmm.
where Spider-Man has like a group of people, and it's White Tiger,
Hmm.
Nova, Luke Cage, and then Iron Fist, and then Spider-Man's like the team leader. Great TV show. I highly recommend it.
Hmm.
Drake Bell from Drake and Josh does the voice of Spider-Man, and it's perfect.
Yep.
I think. That you've seen it then?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I highly recommend it. But um, so Nova, Iron Fist, and one of the episodes, there's this person who shows up who takes Iron Fist away, and Spider-Man's like, "What? You can't just take him away." And then Iron Fist is like, "No, it's my time," and he leaves. And then Spider-Man uh webs himself onto the jet and flies with him to some
Hmm.
distant place in mountains, and it's freezing and it's cold, and Spider-Man's freezing because he doesn't have like a heater in his suit. His is just spandex. But
Hmm.
anyway, that's not important. um, the his character storyline is that he's like royalty in this like little nation or tribe kind of thing that they have there, and he wanted to leave to learn and grow about like different cultures and learn if he for him to be the leader in his eyes, he needs to know more than just their culture kind of thing.
Hmm.
So he leaves and then he joins Shield, and Spider-Man joins Shield, and that's where this group is. It's a Shield sanctioned group, and he's the leader of it. Spider-Man's the leader of it. And so his thing is like he leaves, and then like in a couple years you have to come back and take the throne. And this was his time to come and take the throne. And like there's this whole thing that he has to do to prove he's worthy and stuff like that, and he can't do it for some reason. Spider-Man has to take his place and be his champion, kind of.
Hmm.
And then I'm just gonna spoil the episode. In the end, Spider-Man wins. You can take this part out, but I don't want to tell you because I like the show. Spider-Man wins. Iron Fist is now worthy to be the leader, but then his like father or mentor or something like that says, "Well, if more people outside of our tribe are like this man, Spider-Man, then you'll probably be able to learn a lot from the people out there. So you can have like another year or something like that out there." And then it's like, yay, he gets to come. Spider-Man doesn't have to say bye. And then they go back, and that's the whole thing. But it's a great episode. But it just reminded me of that. That was a huge tangent. Oh my god. Just cut that all out. um yeah, so it's like he left and now he has to go back. That was the whole point. I should have just said that.
Hmm. Comic book time.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Luckily, this week is not going to be as long
As
as
last week.
last week was, because this week was only 3 books. Well, I'm not going to tell you which one you'll be really excited for because that's just what I'm going to do.
Okay,
All right. So, first up, we have Amazing Spider Man number 21.
that's a cool cover. Is that the Human
Yeah.
Torch?
Yep, that's a Human Torch.
That's pretty
And
cool.
this
Are
is
they
the Blue
fighting each
Beetle.
other? That's who?
No. So, Human Torch and Spider Man are going up against the Blue Beetle.
Ooh,
This is the second appearance of the Blue Beetle. He first appears in like a Strange Tales comic.
that's pretty cool.
Nice early Spider-Man.
That's a very nice Spider-Man.
Yeah, nice Steve Ditko artwork. Like from this angle.
That is very nice. I like it.
Yeah, very nice oldie. Next one, and this one's gonna get a little technical. Okay, so just be prepared for
Okay.
this. This is Batman number 368.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first official appearance of Jason Todd as Robin.
Ooh.
And what I mean by this is a couple of things. So Jason Todd first appears in Batman 357. Okay. He then puts on the Robin costume in Batman, I believe it's 366, without Batman's permission. So it's the first time he becomes Robin, but it's not official because he just puts on the costume. But he doesn't become Robin because Batman
Okay.
doesn't allow him to be. This comic is the first time that he officially becomes Robin and dons the Robin costume as Robin.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
So it's weird for like DC books that there's so much technicality with certain things about first cameos, first full appearances, first time they wear a costume, blah blah blah. But it's important, at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm. The cover's really nice, though.
Yeah, I like the cover.
Like the artwork.
When I get to my Batman series of like comic books that I have to show off, you can see like 366 because I have it, and that cover is even better than this one.
Is
You'll be
it?
able to see. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
All right, last one, Billy. This one, you'll see exactly why I bought this book.
Okay.
You'll see exactly why. Okay. Let me just show it off. So we got West Coast Avengers, number 45. The first appearance of the White Vision.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is this character arc the same in the comic books?
It's pretty similar, yeah. And he becomes he gets disassembled.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because he gets disassembled, he loses the coloration in his skin. So he becomes white. But
Mm-hmm.
then they reassemble him, but then he becomes basically like the White Vision and WandaVision when he just doesn't have any emotion. He doesn't really recall being the husband of Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
He's just an android. He's a robot, basically, who has no emotions. He just has like basic programming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what
Is
happens in this comic book, in this arc.
is he
This
with
book,
Wanda in the comic books too?
yes, he
Okay.
is.
Is
This
Wanda in the
book,
cover? Is that her
yep,
down there?
right there.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. So this book is just so hot right now because of WandaVision, because of the first appearance of the White Vision in the last episode. If you haven't seen it yet, sorry, spoiler alert. And this probably will go up again when he appears again in Doctor Strange 2, maybe, or maybe when we find out more about Wanda and what they're going to do with the future of her. But this book is definitely hot right now. I got it for a very reasonable price for the condition of this book, due to the fact that it's so hot right now. So I'm very lucky to have this. I did not expect that I was going to buy it. I didn't think I was going to buy it. I was kind of just thinking about getting the books that I had, but I was like, you know what? I really want this book, and I can't get it again for another price like this. So decided to get it.
Nice. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Who's the West Coast Avengers?
Oh, so the West Coast Avengers are a formation of a new Avengers team that they do out on the West Coast of the United States. That has like Vision and Wonder Man and Wanda and a few other characters that become like a new branch of the Avengers.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
One other thing that I want to say is that this is a cover homage of Vision's first appearance, which was Avengers 57 back in the 60s, which I also have. I can be able to show off one day as well.
Nice. Can you put them both on the screen side by side?
Yeah, I'll be able to put both images side by side in one image. just to show it's exactly the same, except one is just the white Vision and one of them is just the red Vision. So
That's cool. Is he made the same way in the comic books, where he gets made by Iron Man?
I don't think he was made by Iron Man. I forget who he was made by, but it was actually during the same time that they had Ultron, so it kind of fit together that like Ultron's first appearance was like Avengers 55, and then Vision's first appearance was 57, so it tied in correctly with the same way with the
Okay.
movies. Um, but I don't know exactly who he was created by off the top of my head. I'll probably be able to look it up and remember. But yeah,
Cool. That was a cool one. I wasn't expecting that.
no,
That one was out
I
of
thought
left
you
field.
would like that one.
That one is a nice one. Very cool. I can't wait to see what they do with this character in the show, though, or in
Hmm.
the universe,
Yeah, in the cinematic universe as a whole.
the MCU. Yeah.
I can't wait for you to see the books that are coming up, Billy, because I was gonna say right now, the last 2 weeks have been pretty nice.
Very nice. Ooh.
And I cannot wait to show you. Some of them will be appearing in the mini series that I'm doing, unfortunately, so you won't be able to see them live, but you'll still be able to see them.
I'll still watch them.
Mhm.
It'll give us another view because I'll have to watch them then, right?
Yep, and you'll
We'll
be
get up
like
to 10.
cataloged now.
Yeah. um, I just realized that I have to do something now.
Yes, it's always me first, you second.
Gosh darn.
What's
Give
he
me
gonna do? What's he gonna do when it comes for you? Billy, Billy. You could show off your omnibus.
That's true. I can do that. I got some stuff on it. Though.
Because we have a story behind that.
Yeah, we do. I have a couple. Well, no, I have
You do not have a couple, you
two
have
comic
one.
books.
You have a couple of smaller books.
How many? Yeah. Let me just take this stuff off. I got a light propped up on it, and some other stuff.
Starting to collapse.
Okay.
Reality is not what I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, actually, everyone here has seen it because remember I looked at it with Justice League.
But we have to have a story. We have the story to tell.
We have to have the story with it. Okay.
Mhm.
I want you to tell the story because I'm
Okay.
bad at telling stories. But let me show it off. Okay.
Well, I
Is there a
just know.
glare or is it good?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay.
So I know that Billy is a huge Captain America fan.
Oh yeah.
And he knows that I'm also a big comic book fan. Uh, so I wanted to get him into not only the movies, so that way he only knew about the movies. I wanted him to get into the actual comics.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to get him the omnibuses. The omnibuses are basically large collections of stories. So, like, for example, this comic book omnibus, it has issues, I believe, 1 through 14 of Captain America comics, which includes the first appearance of Captain America, the first appearance of Bucky Barnes, the first appearance of Red Skull. A lot of first appearances are involved in these few issues that are
Yeah.
collected. Golden Age books, by the way, are the ones that come from like the 1930s up through 1955 or 56. They are very hard to find out in the wild, as comic book collectors say, out in the ether over there, because it's just so exclusive. They get damaged, they get wrecked. There's a long time to have comic books like this. So obviously, I can't get him these comic books because also they're super expensive, like even more
Yeah.
expensive than any of the books that I've ever seen. Like first appearance of Captain America, you can't get that for probably less than $15,000 to $20,000.
That's
In
way
a
too
very
much for
low
a gift.
grade. So the next best thing is to get him this omnibus. So I went to a few stores to try and see if I could find one, and I eventually found one for a very good price. And I surprised him one day coming over to school and giving him a Golden Age omnibus for just wanting him to have it. Just the good friend that I am, I want him to be able to enjoy reading these stories, see the similarities and the differences, because there's a lot of differences in these
Yeah.
books, and to have him enjoy this.
It was I mean, I think you saw how excited my face was when you
Mhm.
gave it to me.
Yep.
It was like because these he was saying how the comic books themselves aren't cheap to get. This
Hmm.
was not cheap to get, but it was just such a thoughtful gift because there's not really any like it wasn't like a birthday, it wasn't like a special event or anything. It was just out of the blue
Hmm.
where you just got it from me, and it was one of the nicest things ever. Because you also gave me that really cool Captain America poster that's
Gone.
unfortunately probably gone right now that I had
Yeah.
like on my desk. Like it was just great looking at it every day.
Hmm.
And this is was an amazing gift, and it was just cool to be able to contrast the movie one and like the comic book one because they're so different,
Oh yeah.
and their shields are kind of different.
Hmm.
Um, just the color scheme of them.
Well, I also have a few omnibuses myself, and I'm trying to get more omnibuses. I have my favorite character is Spider-Man, so I have a few Spider-Man omnibuses. I have four, five, four. I have four. I have four Spider-Man omnibuses that I have. Um, so I thought it was only appropriate that, like, I've also shown off some of the Spider-Man omnibuses to you, Billy, in the
Yeah,
past.
when you gave me this, you showed me that really cool Spider-Man one that you got. Yeah, but I remember you had that really cool one that you showed off when you gave this to me,
Hmm.
and it had that really cool like even without the dust jacket on, it was still pretty cool. I remember
Yep, that one I have right down there. I'm not grabbing it because it's like down
it's in
there.
there. Yeah.
One day when I get a new omnibus, I will show off my. There you go, part of the mini series showing off the omnibuses. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Because the omnibuses are actually considered collectibles as well, because sometimes they'll go through a reprint, but that'll take some time as to getting a reprint. So sometimes they'll be out of print and they'll be like exorbitant prices, like $300, $400, $500 because
Jeez.
they're out of print.
Mhm.
So certain books will get a certain premium, like the
So
Spider-Man books that I have. Three of the four of them have not been reprinted yet, and they're all probably like super expensive right now to try and get on the open market. So
jeez.
um, it's good to get it when you can. So
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you also got me another one that's over by my bedside. That is like the history of Captain America.
that's right. Yes.
I'm gonna go get it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just as a detail for everybody, the history of Captain America is like a series of books that has like the history of Spider-Man, the history of like um the Avengers, the history of Thor, and it just has like the historical um books of like first appearances of Captain America in the Golden Age, then it transitions to the Silver Age and to Tales of Suspense. I believe it also goes through and like all the different titles that Captain America goes through, and it gives like synopses of like the stories and everything. Which is the other thing I need to get you, Billy. I need to get you the Winter Soldier one, the one that has the Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the movie,
Mhm.
the omnibus that kind of has the comic books that it's based out of that. I need to get you that one. I've seen that around. I just haven't been able to pick it up.
Yeah, let me finish these first. um, I never noticed this on the back. It has a. Let me show it off.
Hmm.
It's very cool. But yeah, it's very cool.
Hmm. So it definitely goes through all of the history of Captain America and the characters that are involved and everything. It's very comprehensive, so that way Billy can kind of not gonna say get educated, but like learn a little bit about the comic book Captain America, because you can only get so much from the Steve Rogers on screen. If you can get more from the comic books, you can kind of really understand where everything's coming from. Then it's like more in depth.
Yeah, you get to understand like where he's uh who's based off of.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Team America?
Oh, Team America. We don't talk about Team America.
I'm gonna go read this later. I'm way too into this.
What have I done? What monster have I breeded?
Read it.
Yeah, I breeded you.
That's-
You
Uh,
are my creation.
so bad. Oh, Civil War. Sorry, I just want to see some of the newer ones really quick.
It should go into the Brewbreaker run with like the Winter Soldier.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta put this down.
He can read it nice and
Yeah.
quietly.
Sorry, that must have been so boring for you.
Luckily, we have the power of editing.
Yeah, we do. Well, you do.
Final word is I'm going to give a rating for the series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
I give this series an 8 out of 10.
I can't tell if that's good or not. Well, I mean, it's obviously good because there's no
I
scale.
just gave you an 8 out of 10. That should be inherently good.
Well, I mean, like, someone who's very stingy about giving high praise, that'd be incredible. But someone who's like very lackadaisy about it, that's
Mm-hmm.
not as good. So, like, let me get a reference. Let me ask another movie.
Well,
Or
I'll tell you that WandaVision was an 8.5 out of 10.
okay. Um, what about Thor 2? That's just a random one. I'm gonna get ones from Thor 2 and Thor 3. What would you rate those
Or
two?
2, like it used to be like a 3 out of 10, but since it has significance to Endgame, I'm going to call it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Ragnarok, 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. So then, yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit of like reference frame for your uh scale system.
Well, we definitely have to do this for an episode where we have all the Marvel movies and TV shows ranked, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
The answers may surprise you.
Yeah. Uh like this video if you want to see that.
They probably will.
Yeah. I hope so. My final word is I thought it was really cool to see Sam's story arc throughout the whole series, also Bucky's. It was a nice little wrap up to everything where Sam becomes the Captain America, gets an incredible suit. Love
Mm-hmm.
that suit. And Bucky finally moves past it. His moves past his past. And it was just nice to see everything get wrapped up quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see what they do with the character now because
I know.
he's got like the vibranium suit, he's got like the shield. It's cool. Do you think the suit's vibranium or just the wings?
Just the wings.
That's a shame.
You can only get so much vibranium.
Yeah, I know. Selfish. But yeah, it was great. Great wrap up to the series. I really like the series. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna give it a scale just yet because I have to think about it. But it's definitely close. It's definitely in the 8, 9, 10 range.
Yes. I think it's a little bit skewed because of your fandom for Captain America, but
Probably.
it was still good anyway.
Yeah. I think yours will also be skewed when we see a Doctor Strange movie. So we both have our biases.
I mean, I'm not biased towards Doctor Strange. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's like the highest quality is like Avengers Endgame. Like that's the highest of the high qualities.
That sets the bar for every other movie.
Yeah, and I don't think you can argue the fact that Doctor Strange 2 will be amazing, even before we've seen anything from it.
No, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna be wrong in my opinions.
Oh, I also want to say this. Also as a wrap up. So, anyone out there who either has Disney Plus, well, if you're watching this, you probably have Disney Plus, or you're just, I'm not sure why you're watching it. Um, watching this, but if you have like cable and you're watching, if you have Disney XD, then what's today? The 25th.
We have transition days.
Yeah.
We have
So
jumped an entire day.
I'm not sure when. This might be a week, over a week from now, so it may not be worth saying right now. But There's a really great Star Wars TV show that I really, really enjoyed called Star Wars Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney XD is doing, from what I hear, a marathon throughout the month of May, starting May 3rd, where it's 2 hours a day of that show at night. So if you haven't seen the series, it'll be a good way to watch it throughout a month. So it's not like you're binging it on Disney Plus. You kind of get to space it through. And I really liked it. It was really good. A lot of the characters who are in The Mandalorian and a lot of the characters who are in Star Wars Clone Wars are in it. And it's really good. Just like the whole plot line's great. I remember when the series finale came out, I saw like a lot of places saying that it was the best series finale of a show that people have ever seen. Like it was really good. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a chance, go check that out.
Cool.
Cool.
And that's how we'll wrap up the show, people. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, we'd also love that too. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy. Also, I realized I dropped something. 'Cause I had something right here and I don't know where it went.
Good to do it now.
I don't know where it is.
Oh no.
It was a Captain America golf ball that I put there.
Ah.
Oh, it rolled back here. How'd that happen? That's actually kind
You
of
thought it
impressive.
dropped, but it actually rolled.
That's impressive that it didn't roll off.
Oh, it's the divots in the golf ball that allow it to stay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like like a centimeter away from the ledge. I'm just impressed that it didn't like, I didn't nudge it off the ledge.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. That was. I looked over when you said I got stuff behind me, and I was gonna be like, I got something new too. No, I don't.
Where about a golf ball go?
Yeah, I know. My sister's boyfriend very nicely got it for me, and he was at sporting goods place.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say which one,
No.
because I don't want to advertise, and also
True.
because I'm not sure which one.
He also doesn't want to and doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't want to, and even if I did, I'm not sure which one it is.